business owners and independent contractors. Get affordable insurance with Sagicor Pro Shield. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock. CVM News at 7 headlines Thursday. Brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, sixth shot, one fatal in Cassava Piece in Tandrew. Murders surge in St. James and over 1,000 to benefit from NHT housing solution in Manchester. Also this evening, World Homeless Day. Scholar urges more support for the poor. In the business report, A City for People Part 2, the sidewalk to development. While in sports, Reggae Boys prepare for kickoff against Nicaragua. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Thursday, October 10, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Curlin Brown. A woman is dead and 5 other people are left nursing injuries after a gun attack in Cassava Piece, St. Andrew, Wednesday evening. The dead woman has been identified as 28-year-old shopkeeper Kelly Bernard. Reports are some time after 7 armed men were travelling along Mannings Hill Road when it's understood some of them exited the car and opened fire on a group playing dominoes and then continued their journey along Mannings Hill Road. 6 individuals were found suffering from gunshot wounds and were taken to the Kingston Public Hospital where Bernard was pronounced dead. The St. Andrew North Police are investigating. Meanwhile, another life was tragically cut short in St. James, marking further tension in the violence-plagued parish. Reports are just before 7:30 Thursday morning, a man was standing outside his gate when he was ambushed by unknown assailants who opened fire, striking him several times before fleeing the scene. The police were called and the man, who was found lying face down in a pool of blood, was pronounced dead at hospital. The victim has since been identified as O'Dane Sims, otherwise called Redneck. Now, that incident comes on the heels of another killing on Tuesday. The man, identified as 46-year-old Shaquane Woolery, or made that Shaquane Woolery, otherwise called Shaki, of a Lilliput address, was shot and killed at his business place. Our news team understands just after 7 p.m. Woolery was stocking his shelves when 2 gunmen entered the store. There was a tussle and the gunmen opened fire, striking Woolery in the head and to the upper body. When the police arrived, they found the merchandiser's body slumped against the refrigerator in a pool of blood. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Meanwhile, the police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of an unidentified man at the market circle in the vicinity of a shop. The National Housing Trust's most recent development in Manchester is expected to become the new home for many after the agency handed over keys to new residents in Phase 2 of the Perth Estate project. But as our reporter Trisha Gay Kelly will explain, this is just the beginning of what is to come for the parish.
The government is still in the business of providing more housing solutions for citizens. Its partnership with the National Housing Trust, NHT, has provided many Jamaicans with a place to call home. The most recent development was in Manchester, where Phase 2 of the Perth Estate was constructed and is now being marketed. On Wednesday, some of the houses were handed over to the first set of citizens turned NHT homeowners. Member of Parliament for Central Manchester, Rhoda Moy Crawford, says it's a huge benefit for residents in the parish.
But under this development, Phase 2, Perth Estate, 458 two-bedroom housing units are being constructed and 773 service lots. So that's 1,000+ persons that will be benefiting from this project.
The project, however, will not stop there, as there are plans to replicate the development. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the process of advancing these developments is already underway.
A further 10,515 housing solutions are at the contract stage. So that is the stage before construction. So that is the second cart on the train. A total of 11 projects have been approved, and the contracts are being prepared and are to be awarded.
The government's plan for the Cool Parish extends beyond just housing. In recent times, Manchester has witnessed infrastructural development with a new highway and more buildings in the parish capital. The Prime Minister says more development is coming.
There are plans to have other developments in the town, and eventually, who knows, Mandeville might be the third or fourth town in Jamaica to get city status.
The two-bedroom units range in price from $19.2 to $19.95 million. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
A Evening Scholar is among several Jamaicans hailing the government's poor relief initiative for bridging the gap between him and his goals, once far removed due to poverty. The beneficiary and public servant is, on this World Homeless Day, urging more Jamaicans to help the poor through the various agencies locally. Nika Lewis shares his story.
He was only a child when he realized the arduous work his mother and sister had to put in to make ends meet. School being important was still not an easy hurdle, owing to limited financial support. That was before the injection of relief from the St. Mary Poor Relief Department, allowing him a shot at pursuing his academic dreams.
I was introduced by the then councillor for the Portmore Division, Mr. Fitzgerald, who I met through a personal friend. And from that day, my life changed for the better. You know, through support from the Poor Relief Department was one less thing to worry about. My life was marred by worries from what to eat, you know, iron clothes, to get water to bathe, funds to go to school. But thankfully, the Poor Relief Department took away that worry from me. So I was able to go to school for the most part and focus.
Eventually, after excelling in high school and university, another milestone that would take the policeman well beyond the shores of Jamaica, farther from the grasp of poverty.
In 2022, I was fortunate enough to be awarded the Evening Scholarship. So I went to the UK to study for a year, which I completed a Master of Science degree in Intelligence, Security and Disaster Management. And after coming back to this year, July, I was awarded the Governor General Achievement Award for the Parish of St. James for the 25 to 35 category. So my life has been one of hard work, dedication and resilience. And the Poor Relief Department laid the groundwork for that. You know, as I said, I didn't have to worry about going to school because I know the money will be there. Maybe late sometime, I will cry sometime, but it will come, you know. So I had that faith in that.
He lost his mom as time progressed, but found the love and friendship of two other women through the poor relief he now calls family. Douglas is imploring more Jamaicans to lend a helping hand to the less fortunate around them.
Support this municipal corporation. I think this is a program which should be wide-scaled. You know, I understand that maybe some constraint, but I think more should be done because enough is not being done. So I encourage the Minister of Local Government and Community Development to take a keener look at the poor relief. I mean, it's one of those departments wherein the tangible benefit or positive may not be seen with the naked eye. You have to go underneath because not many persons come forward and give testimonials like this.
Nika Lewis, CVM News.
Jamaicans in the worst hit spaces of Florida have managed to stay safe despite 4 people being reported dead and extreme damage reported in that state. Cyclones and flooding ravaged the Tampa area. It's since downgraded from a Category 3 hurricane to a Category 1. Here's more from the BBC.
The hurricane was a Category 3 when it made landfall, hitting the west coast with its full force, bringing deadly tornadoes. In St. Lucie on the east coast, there was devastating damage, with a number of people killed.
We're focusing on just recovering, getting help to people that need it. Again, this community was hit from what the Dopplers are showing. We got hit the hardest, the quickest.
In Fort Myers, buildings were destroyed in seconds.
These windows blew out. I was about probably right here when it happened. My cat over there on the desk. I grabbed the two dogs and run under my bed. But that was it.
And we'll continue with CVM News at 7 in just a moment.
CVM News at 7 Headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Papa Jesus, insurance gone up again? Gotta go faster. It gas our insurance.
Driver, let's go.
Do you really want to stick with the same old insurer? For the first time in Jamaica, taxis, minibuses, coasters, whatever you drive, MIBinsure.com will find you an insurer who will slash your premium by up to 60%. They all claim to save you money, but only MIB Insure actually can. Switch to MIBinsure.com today and save serious money.
Say aloha flavor. We know pizza. It's literally in our name.
Pizza Hut. Yeah. We know pizza. Pizza Hut. For the love of pizza. Pizza Hut. Yeah. The sweet and the savory. Pizza Hut. Hawaiian, no normal. Clearly. Pizza Hut.
The Top Up Flow app is a great way to get Flow prepaid mobile plans.
Oh, you know, the plans that give you real unlimited social media, YouTube, anywhere calls, and data for TikTok.
And for limited time only, get a 28-day plan for $2,900 when you activate through the app. Oh, that's a $500 saving.
The easy, convenient way to save on your Flow 28-day prepaid mobile plan with unlimited social and anywhere calls is to download the Top Up Flow app or visit topupflow.com.
Download today and start saving.
CVM News at 7 Thursday, brought to you by
MIBinsure.com today and save serious money.
Welcome back. In this CVM News follow-up now, a mother for the first time visited the spot in Girlstown, Glengoff, St. Catherine, where the body of her daughter, Lisa Gay Cobre, was found in a shallow grave on Tuesday. A 23-year-old man who was raised by the mother since he was 10 confessed to killing her days after being part of a search party baffled by her mysterious disappearance since late September. Now, his reported explanation of a possible cause pales to information put forward by the broken-hearted parent.
And so searches were being carried out everywhere else except near the house you can see there. We have some makeshift steps. We assume that they were made by whomever came to retrieve the body from that location over there. The question we asked, how did the body end up there?
A distraught Sonia Beverly surmises her child's body was dragged through the dirt yard and rolled down the slope through the bushes in an area where garbage is usually disposed of. It was the day after one of the worst days of her life at the house where she had left her 32-year-old autistic daughter, affectionately called Babe. Also home was a young man they called Juki. She had raised as her child from he was 10 years old. Now he was in his early 20s. She took the painful walk to the spot to face the truth.
Oh God, have mercy for me, Jesus.
Hours before, the police and undertakers had removed the body after Juki confessed a few miles away to officers at the Lawrence Tavern police station he had killed her. The following day, after leading the Glengoff police to the shallow grave, he was saved by law enforcement from angry onlookers, some ready to effect justice, shouting murderer. But why was there no order 9 days after?
He had a piece of zinc over her too, and he had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece of zinc over her leg. He had a piece
and he put some sponge on top of her, and he also bag her face.
This hammer, which Miss Beverly has been using all along since, is alleged to have been the murder weapon during what Juki reportedly told the police was a fuss between him and Babe. Miss Beverly rubbishes that, making her own allegations based on how the body was clad.
So them say they were fighting over remote.
So him tell the police? I don't know of it.
That there have been a fuss. There was a dispute. And it would have been over the remote.
But I have him to, and I use the remote. And me buy my TV. So him can't kill her over her mother things. It's our mother own and what is miss for them. Because them never work from them born. So me buy things, me run internet that them can watch anything when them want to watch. And him come and kill her over my remote. I lie my tell. Him rape her. The boy is a liar. Him rape her. Remote can't make you kill a picnic.
The police have not confirmed her claims and will rely on DNA and forensic evidence as investigations continue.
So from the location, which is the house of the girl reported missing for days, which turned up to be the place she was found dead. Here in Glengough, St. Catherine, I'm Caroline Brown reporting for CVM News.
With the agricultural sector recovering from numerous natural disasters, several Caribbean islands have gathered to participate in the Caribbean Week of Agriculture in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Jamaica's Minister of Agriculture, Floyd Green, was among those in attendance. Here's more from Adrian Williams.
The Caribbean Week of Agriculture, CWA 2024, is currently underway from October 7 to 11 at the University of the West Indies Open Campus, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, under the theme Climate Smart Agriculture for a Sustainable Future. Conceived by the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA, the CWA seeks to elevate agriculture and rural life within the region's integration efforts, allowing key decision makers in both public and private sectors to recognize agriculture's significance to economic, social, and environmental stability. Since its inception in 1998, the CWA has facilitated a dialogue among stakeholders to forge a common vision for enhancing agricultural practices and rural development. On Wednesday, Jamaica played its part by hosting a segment titled Fireside Chat, with the topic Food Security and its impact on human security across the region, with special focus on youth. Delegates from all over the Caribbean participated in the conversation with Agriculture Minister Floyd Green and Kerber Marie Questels as they discussed a range of topics from climate change to youth in agriculture. Turks and Caicos Director of Agriculture, Wilhelmina Kisoon Singh, posed a question about using illegal immigration to boost the sector.
How do you convince government from a particular countries, our government, that using the illegal immigrant, giving them access to the resources to do food production is actually going to solve a few of your issues?
While empathizing the issue of agricultural labor shortage, Minister Green says a part of the problem is a lack of structure.
I think the challenge is not putting in place frameworks. All right. So oftentimes we run away from problems instead of just trying to put in a framework to treat with it, right? If you had a framework that could get you agricultural labor easily, then you wouldn't have some of these challenges. And illegal immigration is a separate issue, right? People come illegally immigrate, illegally come to your country and then find things to do, right? If you have a program where they can come to your country under a legal realm, then, you know, those who get there illegally, you wouldn't have an issue treating with them.
With a history of 17 successful editions, the CWA continues to address pressing agricultural issues, ensuring that the Caribbean is well equipped to face the challenges posed by climate change while fostering a sustainable agricultural future. Adrian Williams for CVM News.
The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, the KSAMC, is stepping up efforts to enforce trade license regulations with a renewed focus on collecting outstanding fees. Businesses in violation are being put on notice. As Mayor Andrew Swaby outlines, new measures are aimed at holding defaulters accountable. Here is more from Ramon Gordon.
The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, is ramping up its crackdown on businesses flouting trade license laws with plans to publicly expose debtors. Mayor Andrew Swaby delivered the stern warning at Tuesday's council meeting.
After writing business operators and visiting several establishments, many of them remain non-compliant, displaying blatant disregard for our efforts and their legal obligation. This is why we had published in the Gleaner and Observer the names of the delinquent business establishment on King Street and on Orange Street last Sunday. And we will be continuing the other streets as we go by.
When he took office, Mayor Swaby made it a point to focus on recovering funds owed to the municipality. Reporter that the figure is in the millions. In a parallel effort, Swaby is now eyeing outstanding fees from advertising companies that have failed to settle their debts with the KSAMC.
For too long, the KSAMC have been taken for granted. The CEO, the acting chief revenue officer, the chairman of finance, and our in-house counsel met with the representative of some of these companies and requested that they propose a realistic payment plan. While some companies responded favorably, others have failed to put forward a reasonable proposal and therefore have remained delinquent.
For delinquent debtors, Swaby says time's up.
As a form of moral suasion, we are prepared to make the names of these companies public. More importantly, we want their clients to know that they have not discharged their obligation to the KSAMC and that their ads are at risk of being taken down.
The Municipal Corporation also approved a revenue and expenditure budget of over $5.3 billion for the 2023-2024 fiscal year and $5.2 billion for 2024-2025. Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
And still more to come, including the business report. Stay with us.
Tell your family and friend them abroad. The quick way fi send credit back a yard. Tap you up with a click right here and ding.
Send on the credit with ding ding my something.
A easy way fi send gift card for the bill.
Ding my something.
In a instant we get it.
Ding my something.
Skip the long Cambia lines with ding.
Ding my something.
I fill up the new link.
Skip the long Cambia lines and high fees with ding. Tell your family and friends overseas the easy way for send a credit or a gift card for just about everything. Ding. All on ding. Use the code ding me for 30% off. Download the app today.
So wait for
Send it with ding.
It's time for the business report with Joel Crossgill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. It has been said that the road to development is the development of roads. However, from the perspective of Enrique Penalosa, urban development and transportation expert, who is this year's guest speaker at the fascinating FACey Lecture Series, that may not ring true based on his experiences in the transformation of Bogota, Colombia into a multimodal transportation mecca whilst he was mayor. And that may align with the Jamaican capital's own ambition to seek harmony through construction and position Kingston as the preeminent urban space of the Caribbean.
More and more people can work from anywhere. People can work from anywhere. And then how are we going to compete? How are we going to attract those people who can choose where to live? But the most crucial thing is, for economic development, in the past, we are competing for people at this time. One of the big problems for Jamaica and for Colombia is that many young people are leaving to go elsewhere. How can we attract great people from abroad and retain our best people with great cities, with great quality. So this is crucial for our survival. I would say that a good city is more important for economic development than tax rates or than electricity rates or than things, but normally we don't give much attention to this.
So what is a good model for Kingston and St Andrew, which boasts one of the largest natural harbours in the world, a tropical climate, while also having the beautiful backdrop of a mountain range towards the north?
I would propose to you that the main difference between an advanced and a backward city in terms of infrastructure is quality sidewalks. It's not subways or highways. A good city constructs other kinds of equality. For example, quality of life that people should have, regardless of their income, without being members of a country club, access to all kinds of sports facilities. Sports facilities, gyms, music lessons, I mean, beyond the obvious health and education and things like this. And I would call other equality. The principle for any democratic constitution is that all citizens are equal before the law. That's the principle. But it's not just theory. If all citizens are equal, then there is another consequence, which is extremely powerful. Public good prevails over private interest. This goes to the extreme that it allows you to even forcefully buy private property, use eminent domain. And this is not communism. They do it in the United States all the time.
Now, while the rapid development of spaces like downtown Kingston may be desired, many Jamaicans will be aware of the unique socio-political history of the space, which may make it challenging to contemplate. However, Mr. Penalosa, unencumbered by that knowledge, suggests a shared vision should be established and that time becomes an asset towards that ambition.
So you will excuse me if I say some sacrilegious things, you know. For example, if you have this road and you demolish a bunch of houses here and put the highway here, you know, the highway here, put the houses, the buildings behind, some big buildings, and between the buildings and the water, only pedestrian, only a fantastic park, only pedestrian. And then you put 15-story high buildings. For the people who live there, they are going to make the business of their lives. They're going to make a lot of money. Because now they have one house, they will have 2 apartments that will cost 3 times what they have now. But then again, it's democracy. We have to work. Public good prevails over private interest. It's democracy. But anyway, I'm just saying, here architects, why don't we make some beautiful renders about what it would be like, you know? I know at first it's shocking. And you would say, how can you do such horrible thing, and blah, blah, it's not politically correct, and blah, 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 blah. But let's think in terms of the next 500 years.
And while the business report would love to share additional details on Penalosa's take on the redevelopment of the waterfront with you, the final bite has been reserved for another purpose.
We need to save land for parks. This is a very peculiar case because this is in the center of Colombia, we demolished there more than 32 hectares, more than 1,200 buildings in my 2 administrations, and we made parks, housing, cultural centers, universities, and this park. If we believe in democracy, sometimes you have more parks than us, but if you don't, sometimes you have to use eminent domain. For example, this was the polo fields and the horse riding facilities of the most exclusive club in Colombia. All the biggest billionaires were there, the former presidents, everybody, and we use eminent domain to take over this park, to make it into a public park. This is not communism again, this is democracy. By the way, I have nothing against the members of this club. I love them, many of them are good friends. They even have given me money for my campaigns and all this, nothing against them. It's just, this is my job to do as a mayor, things like this. This was a big battle because we had, for example, a very low income informal settlement, former informal, and then a high income on the left. Make a huge fuss for us because we made this park. A huge opposition from the upper income people. And now the children of the low income people and the upper income people play together very happily. No problems, and both are very happy with the park.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.
Continue right after this.
We a big deal when we touch the ground. Yeah, a KFC when we're pulling up. Anything for the taste of a KFC, big deal. The time by KFC is.
Me, I gotta show them my way of justice.
I'm abused.
I need legal advice. I don't deserve this.
The truth of the matter is, justice there for all of we. The Ministry of Justice has trained more than 5,600 persons in restorative justice practices. More than 200,000 victims have been supported by the victim services. Legal aid has reached thousands island-wide. Make we talk it out, not fight it out. Call 888 Justice today.
Jamaica, get ready! Saturday, October 26th, live on the lawns of Uimona. It's Boys to Men. Singing your favorite hits. Also performing live, Tess and Chin and Lee Lycan. Get your tickets now at caribtix.com, Kingston, Jer, and Fontana. Saturday, October 26th, 2024. It's Boys to Men, live on the lawns of Uimona. Starts at 8 p.m. Sponsored by Supreme Ventures, Mayberry, Main Event, Island Grill, and Courtly Hospitality Group.
Ganga is an emotional saga of a woman's journey, all alone in a man's world.
Welcome back. We want to find out what's been gaining traction on social media.
So, what's trending in our local social media spaces? An Instagram post has brought to light alleged alarming conditions at the Onoto Bay Police Station lockup, where it's alleged 38 people are being held in a space intended for only 12. This claim of overcrowding raises pressing concerns about the welfare and human rights of those detained. Here are some of your thoughts on the claims. At Denden_1 writes, "Boy, them actions wrong, but this is so inhumane." At Leah Glamdoll comments, "Okay, bed and good home did their road. Choice was theirs." At CJ.JM shares, comments for getting innocent people are in police lockups every day. At Amelia_Sounds asks, "Why this look like a slave ship?" At Lil_Mardy adds, "That's why me remain as a good youth." At XOAsh_posts, "This is why crime will never stop. Rehabilitate the citizens and send them back as better people." And at High Class says, "Jamaica's entire criminal justice system needs to be packed up and revamped." And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM_television on Instagram. I'm Ronaldo Adams.
And we also have regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. The Caribbean is getting much needed help in the fight against transnational organized crime and illicit firearms. The assistance is coming from Interpol and the CARICOM impacts. Some of the plans are being discussed at the 8th edition of the Dialogue on an Effective Multilateral Policing Architecture Against Global Threat, under the theme of an integrated security architecture, multilateral action for a safer world. More from CBC News, Barbados.
The biggest threats facing the Caribbean region include transnational organized crime and illicit trafficking of firearms. In February 2024, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley noted the Twin Island Republic was advised by U.S. security agencies that it was attracting elements of international organized crime. Barbados' Attorney General Dale Marshall says this is a wake-up call for all countries in the region and certainly a cause for concern. He was speaking while delivering remarks at the 8th edition of the Dialogue.
There is no